The year is 1954. A storm brews over the vast Atlantic as a ferry cuts its way through crashing waves. On board stands U.S. Marshal Teddy Daniels, tall, rigid, with haunted eyes that hide years of war scars and recent grief. Beside him is his new partner, Chuck Ayler, a man with an approachable demeanor but eyes that quietly observe everything. Their destination, Shutter Island, home to Ashecliffe Hospital for the criminally insane. Teddy clutches the railing, fighting seasickness and a pounding headache, his thoughts straying to his late wife, Dolores. She died in an apartment fire set by an arsonist, and her ghost often visits him in dreamlike flashes, whispering cryptic warning. Now, with this new case, Teddy feels fate pulling him closer to something, though he can't yet name what. The ferry docks at the island, where guards with rifles escort the marshals to the imposing gates of Ashecliffe. The building looms like a fortress, its stone walls drenched in mist and rain, its barred windows glowing faintly with light. Inside, they are greeted by Dr. John Corley, the refined head psychiatrist, who explains their mission. One of the patients, Rachel Solando, has vanished from her locked cell without a trace. The marshals begin their questioning, but from the start, things feel wrong. Orderlies give clipped answers, guards seem unusually tense, and staff avoid eye contact when Teddy presses for details. How could Rachel escape without breaking locks or setting off alarms? Her cell holds only a cryptic note, the law of four. Who is? As Teddy and Chuck investigate the wards, patients stare with unsettling intensity, murmuring things Teddy can't quite hear. A nurse slips and calls Teddy Marshal in a tone more mocking than respectful. Every detail feels like a puzzle piece that doesn't fit. The storm outside worsens, cutting the island off from the mainland. In the flicker of lightning, Teddy sees Dolores in his mind's eye again, her dress wet and torn, whispering, "You have to find him. Gladys is here." The name jolts Teddy's memory. Andrew Lidis, the arsonist who murdered his wife. Could it be possible? Could his wife's killer be hidden somewhere within these walls? Suddenly, the investigation is no longer just about a missing patient. For Teddy Daniels, it becomes a mission of vengeance and truth, one that could shatter everything he thinks he knows. The island feels alive, breathing secrets into every shadow. And as Teddy moves deeper into Ashecliffe, he begins to realize this place doesn't just hold madmen, it creates them. Teddy wakes the next morning in a sweat, his head pounding, his dreams filled with Dolores, standing in ashes, whispering fragments of truth. Her words echo, "You need to let me go. But first, find Lidis." Driven, Teddy pushes harder into the investigation. He and Chuck interrogate staff and patients, piecing together a portrait of Rachel Solando, a woman who drowned her 3 children in a lake, believing she was protecting them from Nazis. According to staff, Rachel often slipped into delusion, imagining herself still living at home with her children alive. But how could such a woman vanish from a locked facility? Strange inconsistencies begin piling up. Guards contradict each other. One orderly nervously scratches his arm until it bleeds. A patient scribbles a word in Teddy's notebook when Chuck isn't looking. "Run." Teddy's paranoia deepens. Meanwhile, he suffers relentless migraines, requiring him to take pills offered by the staff. But the medication only seems to worsen his confusion. During one painful episode, he hallucinates, seeing Dolores dripping wet, telling him the doctors are experimenting on patients. She warns him not to trust anyone. Dr. Corley insists they focus on Rachel, but Teddy is convinced there's more. He suspects the hospital hides a secret in Ward C, the high-security unit for the most dangerous patients. Against orders, Teddy sneaks in. Inside, dim corridors reek of mildew and madness. Inmates scream and pound against steel doors, their eyes wild. There, Teddy encounters George Noyce, a broken prisoner who once knew him outside. Noyce, bruised and terrified, hisses through the bars. "They'll never let you leave. You're part of the experiment, Teddy. They'll call you insane too. Shaken, Teddy leaves Ward C only to find Chuck gone. In the howling storm, he climbs the cliffs in search of answers and stumbles upon a cave. Inside, a woman hides in shadows. She claims to be the real Rachel Solando. Rachel warns him that Ashecliffe is not a hospital but a front for mind control experiments, a government program using psychotropic drugs and brain surgery. She insists they plan to make Teddy their next subject, erasing his identity forever. Her words sink into Teddy's already fragile mind, planting seeds of paranoia. By nightfall, Teddy feels trapped in a web of lies. Chuck is still missing. Rachel may or may not be real, and Dr. Corley seems to control every step he takes. Alone in the storm, Teddy whispers his wife's name, clutching his pistol. He can't tell what's real anymore. But one thing burns clear in his mind. He must find Lettuce. Only Lettuce can give him the truth. The storm rages into its second night, and Teddy's grip on reality frays further. Searching for Chuck, he breaks into the lighthouse, the place he believes holds the darkest secret of Ashecliffe. Gun in hand, soaked and trembling, he storms the circular chamber, expecting torture devices, brainwashing labs, and government agents. Instead, he finds Dr. Corley calmly waiting for him. No prisoners, no surgical tables, just a man with kind eyes and patient words. "Teddy," the doctor says gently. Or should I say, Andrew. The words freeze Teddy. Corley explains. Teddy Daniels is not real. His true name is Andrew Ledise, a patient who has been in Ashecliffe for 2 years. He murdered his wife, Dolores, after discovering she drowned their 3 children in a fit of madness. Overcome with rage and grief, Andrew shot her dead. His mind, shattered by trauma, built a new identity. Teddy Daniels, the hero U.S. Marshal, searching for a criminal who didn't exist. Everything, the investigation, Chuck, Rachel Solando, has been part of an elaborate role-play experiment designed to bring him back to reality. Chuck, in fact, is Dr. Lester Sheehan, Andrew's real psychiatrist. Rachel never escaped. She was part of the scenario, played by staff to help Teddy confront his fractured mind. At first, Andrew resists violently, shouting, denying, refusing to believe. But then Corley presents the evidence: police reports, death certificates, his wife's medical records. Slowly, painfully, memories come flooding back. Andrew sees it clearly: his children's lifeless bodies by the lake, Dolores weeping, her dress clinging wet, whispering she set them free. And then, the gun in his own hand, the deafening shot, the silence that followed. The realization crushes him. The great investigation, the hidden conspiracies, the hunt for Ledise, all illusions created by his mind to shield him from unbearable guilt. In tears, Andrew finally collapses, whispering his wife's name, knowing the truth cannot be denied anymore. He is Ledise. He is the monster, and Ashecliffe is not his case. It is his prison. For a brief time, it seems the role-play has worked. Andrew accepts his true identity and begins speaking rationally with Dr. Sheehan. The doctors discuss giving him a chance to live in reality, perhaps even continue treatment. But the next morning, as Andrew sits with Sheehan on the hospital steps, something feels different. He looks calm, almost too calm, staring out at the lighthouse in the distance. Then, in a chilling moment, he leans toward Sheehan and asks, which would be worse, to live as a monster or to die as a good man? Sheehan freezes, realizing what Andrew means. Andrew is pretending to slip back into his Teddy Daniels persona, deliberately choosing the path of lobotomy. It's his way of escaping the unbearable pain of memory, sacrificing his mind to find peace. Guards approach, gently taking Andrew by the arms. He doesn't resist. He walks steadily, almost peacefully, toward the surgery that will erase his thoughts forever. For the first time, his face is serene, as though he's finally in control of his fate. Dr. Sheehan watches in silence, his heart heavy with understanding. He knows Andrew could have continued treatment, but the man has chosen his own ending. Whether it's a relapse or an act of mercy to himself, no one can say for certain. The lighthouse looms once again, not as a chamber of conspiracies, but as the place where Andrew Ladise, once Teddy Daniels, will let go of everything. As the screen fades, the audience is left with a haunting question. Did Andrew truly relapse, or did he choose to die as a good man? On Shutter Island, truth and illusion blur until only one thing remains: the chilling weight of choice.